So moving on to Q1, Alex.
Yeah, we saw in qualifying. Obviously, you already mentioned Hulkenberg. He had to come in very late notice to put in a lap. He was about 4 tenths off Q2, I believe.
Yes, he was 4 tenths off Q2. I wrote that down.
Which is kind of understandable, given that he's going to be driving a car that's probably not set up for him, and he's had no experience in it. And it's like, do a hot lap. Just go out there and do a hot lap immediately after
it wasn't
arriving
like he even
in your
had
Porsche.
Practice to do, like his practice laps were the first 3 laps of Q1. That's extraordinary.
So, excuse me. So yeah, he did a pretty good job, all things considered, even though he ended up P20 and ended up stuck there. Neither of the Williams managed to get out of Q1 this time, which was a shame. I think
Giovinazzi did.
Giovinazzi did a great job.
Q2 for the first time in his career.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we'll be talking about him more later on for sure, because I think he generally had a very good race. I think that we saw quite an exciting race for pole when it came for later on in qualifying as well. Max Verstappen almost surprising the Mercedes there, but Bottas ultimately, his 3 purple sectors, he really did smash that lap and managed to beat Hamilton by a reasonable margin, which we don't see happen too often. So fair play to Valtteri for making that happen.
Yeah, I was pretty excited because usually qualifying is quite predictable. It's usually Hamilton who obviously tops Bottas, who pulls it together on the last lap. But maybe with the limited running this weekend, confidence wasn't high or the car wasn't set up as he wanted. But Lewis crossed the line first and took provisional pole, and then Bottas crossed the line and takes it from Hamilton, which was really shocked me. But like you said, with 3 purple sectors, he was always going to do that. Verstappen, I would have loved to see him split the 2 Mercedes, but he came home in P3 across the line to take position 3 on the grid. And Charles Leclerc in P4. So really doing things with that Ferrari. I know they've put some upgrades this week. They both Ferraris are running a new front wing, and I believe Charles is running a new floor. We don't know if Vettel is running that new floor or not, but Charles in P4 and Vettel was obviously out in Q2, unfortunately. But Charles is doing some good stuff with that Ferrari. It's really coming back to life. I think it's got a couple more areas it needs to improve on, because P4 isn't exactly where that Ferrari wants to be at the moment, but no doubt they won't be disappointed with that at all.
Yeah, Charles has always been pretty good over one lap, but we saw his ability to make it happen during qualifying in previous seasons where the Ferrari was slightly more competent. I don't imagine that the Ferrari is likely to be getting up to those heady heights consistently anywhere for the rest of the season. But yeah, Leclerc is making some magic happen in that car that Vettel just can't do, it seems.
No, exactly.
I don't necessarily believe that Vettel has completely forgotten how to drive the car. Obviously, there's difficulties with its handling that Leclerc is just able to overcome. I think at this stage, the current state of affairs, I think I do rate Leclerc a fair bit higher than Vettel, just because of his consistency and ability to drive that car.
Absolutely.
How much of that is mental and skill and the nature of the drivability of the car, it's hard to say. But yeah, Leclerc being very impressive. Also, Albon did very well to kind of get over some of his qualifying woes, put it into 5th. I think that was a pretty strong performance for him and exactly what he should be doing. Finally qualifying in what he should be doing in that Red Bull.
Yes, exactly. It was good to see him actually quite close to Max in the performance of that car, and he didn't really seem to struggle at all in qualifying. He just put it exactly where we wanted him to put it.
Less than 100th behind Leclerc as well, so it's very close to pipping into 4th.
That's really good, and 4th is exactly what the team should be looking for. Behind Max, or in front of Max, it could happen, but if he's not in front of Max, then at least be the car directly behind him. Well, I guess he was technically on the grid, so very good qualifying session all round. A lot of people did well.
Yeah.
It's strange. It wasn't strange to see. Russell wasn't too happy with his qualifying session. He said, "We need to do better," or "I should have done better." So maybe he just didn't hook up the lap. But both Williams out in Q1. But I wouldn't say that's unexpected, but it was a shame because we've come to enjoy Russell into Q2, but it just didn't happen this week.